Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
But I don't usually. I usually use that when I'm the only one hearing me.
For this week's report, tips to slow the spread of mosquitoes. The fire department becomes RSI certified. A mid-year financial report from the Select Board. Connors Climb 5K returns in just a few weeks. The community honors crossing guard Russell Hoyt. The Beer and Chili Fest is just around the corner.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access.
Good evening and welcome to the September 15th, 2025 Town of Exeter Select Board meeting. As the hour is 6:40, I will now call the meeting to order. The first order of business this evening is to enter into non-public briefly. So I would entertain a motion to enter into non-public under RSA 91A 32A.
So moved.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. The motion was by Selectwoman Belanger, second by Selectwoman Gilman. Madam Clerk, please.
Selectman Chartrand?
Aye.
Vice Chair Cowan?
Aye.
Selectman Gilman?
Aye.
Clerk says aye, Mr. Chair.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. The board will be in non-public. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome back to the September 15th, 2025 Town of Exeter Select Board meeting. The board called the meeting to order at 6:40 and met in non-public. I apologize that we're a little bit late commencing our regular business meeting, but here we are. So good evening to my colleagues on the board, respective town staff here this evening. Good evening to those of you who are joining us, and certainly those watching at home on TV or on any other way you can watch it. I'd like to start by introducing the board. To my right, Selectman Dan Chartrand. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chair.
Our Vice Chair, Selectwoman Molly Cowan. Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
To my left, our Clerk, Selectwoman Nancy Belanger. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Selectwoman Julie Gilman. Good evening.
Good evening.
Our Recording Secretary, Joanna Bartel. Good evening. My name is Nico Papakosendis. Our interim town manager, Melissa Roy, is in the building. She's dealing with something, but she will be joining us shortly. So with that, I will open up the meeting to public comment. If there's any member of the public who wishes to make comment, please step up and give us your name and address, and we're all ears.
Hello, Select Board. This is Darius Thompson, 15 Drinkwater Road, Exeter, New Hampshire. I recently retired from Amtrak, so I'm going to speak on a issue that's near and dear to my heart that I could never speak on before being an employee, so I'm a retiree now. Recently, there came an article in the paper about the proposed $50,000 to get on the CIP to look at a plan to do something with the train station. I think that's well overdue. I would like to offer, one, to volunteer to help with the train committee. If there's a spot or opening in any way, shape, or form, I'll definitely reach out to Robert Hall or others. Two, I would like to see, instead of the allocation of $50,000 in the CIP to look at the design or something of nature, why not put together potential funding for that and say that we're going to fund this and revisit some of the plans that were already proposed before. Instead of spending the $50,000, it could be then utilized to actually go towards the actual construction of making that a potential welcoming thing for passengers, visitors, and patrons that come to the town. As of right now, the platform does not have any type of protection from the wind or elements, be it hot or cold or rain or snow. And where there has been maintenance that has been performed, electricity, other things by the town, DPW and others to help maintain that, I think it might be prudent to start looking at things that could be relatively low cost or minimal investments to actually make it more welcoming, utilizing what exists currently to help protect it from the wind, the rain, and maybe including something for looking at a longer-term investment to actually make it a more welcoming. Mm-hmm. So,
thank you.
That's it.
Before you move, thank you for your interest in the committee, and we will be taking applications. So if you go online and fill out an application and send it to the town manager's office,
absolutely,
we will set you up for an interview.
Okay.
We'll take your suggestions into consideration. I think we're not quite there yet, so we may be realistically speaking more next year. But certainly, your ideas are good, and we'll look forward to interviewing you for the committee, because I know you're going to fill out an application, right?
Yes, I will fill out an application. I look forward to the interview.
And while you're here, I was going to bring this up during correspondence because that would be the appropriate place to do it. But since you're here and it is an important issue, one of your colleagues at Amtrak actually reached out to the select board and offered to speak with us about and you and I had actually had a conversation about this earlier. And this is about the Operation Lifesaver.
Yes.
So we are in the process of reaching out. Her name's Margaret Clark, and we are in the process of reaching out to her. We're going to invite her to a select board meeting if she's willing to do so she could give her presentation not just to the board but to the public.
Right.
So when we do, hopefully she'll agree to do that, but I'll let you know because I'm sure you'll want to be here.
Certainly, and also just to speak about Operation Lifesaver, it is a wonderful service. It's a volunteer service that provides Operation Lifesaver. If anyone doesn't know about it, you can look on their website to look up Operation Lifesaver. And it encourages safety and awareness of trains and crossings and grade crossing and things that you can do to help mitigate the potential risk of crossing the train tracks and so on and so forth. So
we'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Super. Thank you.
Any other public comment? To see if there's anyone online. There is not, so we will move on. Next Next order of business is to review the regular meeting minutes from September 2nd. I'd ask the board if there were any revisions or amendments.
I had none.
Okay, and seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the Town of Exeter Select Board regular meeting minutes of September 2nd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. We have another resignation to consider this evening. Another long-serving volunteer is moving out of state, I believe. This is Jackie Ojala, who's been with the Sustainability Advisory Committee for several years, tendered her resignation. Unfortunately, moving, I believe, to Vermont.
Vermont.
Is that correct, Mr. Chartrand? So we thank her for her years of service on the Sustainability Committee, and with that, I would entertain a motion to accept the resignation of Jackie Ojala from the Sustainability Advisory Committee.
I'll make that motion with regrets.
And I will second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Great. We'll jump right into our discussion items this evening. We have with us the chair of the trustees of the trust fund, Peter Lennon. And we also have a member of the Swayze Park trustee, the vice chair, Mr. Darius Thompson. So I will turn it over to you, gentlemen. Good evening.
Great, good evening, thank you. For the record, my name is Peter Lennon. As the chair said, I'm the chair of the Exeter Trustees of Trust Funds. And with me, of course, is Darius Thompson, representing the Swayze Parkway trustees. We sent the board a letter late August asking the board to consider taking up the option that it was given in the original Swayze bequest after 50 years, in this case, obviously much longer than 50 years ago, to, in essence, repatriate about $300,000 that now sits in a bank in Cleveland, Ohio, where Mr. Swayze actually made the bequest to a longtime predecessor of this particular bank. He put in $50,000 in 1929, and the amount has grown to $313,000, according to today's, or I should say, according to Friday's market value, which won't be updated until later tonight. The bequest specifically, and I put the excerpts in front of you, specifically provides for the select board having the option to write or communicate somehow to the key bank with a request that it terminate the trust fund in Ohio and send the money to the select board in New Hampshire. Mr. Swayze limited the use of the money to the maintenance, repair, and improvement of Swayze Parkway. And we believe that it is the only amount of money that is, if you will, not out of sight, but offline from our entire portfolio. Our portfolio now, I'm happy to say, is about $4.7 million. When this, if you agree to write the letter and send them the minutes and the vote total, this will mean $300,000 more, so it'll be close to $500,000 depending on what the market does on any given day. More importantly, we as the trustees, and by the way, I would say that we have been working on this for months with the Swayze Parkway trustees and with Mr. Stevens, the finance director of the town. And everybody's been in almost every meeting. And we've done our best to reach a consensus on the issue. So we believe that it will have direct benefits to us. It'll be in our monthly reporting system, which will enable a better oversight. Now it's more of a quarterly system. We can get online every day, but that's kind of such a short-term snapshot that it's not very useful. We hope to avoid potentially higher fees at the bank. This will increase the fees that we will be charged by our investment advisor, because ultimately the money that you get will be transferred over to us to be invested by our investment advisor. in its own separate trust fund called the Ambrose Swayze Bequest Trust Fund. So it's not mixed up with the other Swayze Parkway accounts. So we have visibility. So we believe that's a goodness. We believe also that this will enable us to have all of our investments together for both oversight and management. And it allows us to ensure that the investments in that particular trust fund comport with our investment policy, which we spent a lot of time on, and it was renewed in 2025 with the state, and it describes where we would like these funds to go in a general sense. This will go into the one of three investment funds. It'll go into the trust fund that is privately donated. It won't go into any of the capital reserve funds or the school capital reserve fund. So that's our request. Let me turn it over to Darius, who can speak from the perspective of the Swayze Parkway trustees.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lennon.
Yeah, Darius Thompson, 15 Drakewater Road, Assistant Vice Chair for the Swayze trustees. The trustees all met. We all reviewed everything. We were at all the meetings, and we fully support this. One of the things was ideally to have the baseline of the fund being 300,000 or whatever it is coming in, so that we know that that will be there for 100 years from now, potentially. That, once we're all gone, the bequest will still be there in its form and its intent. So we fully support this. Hope that you all support this as well. I think having that letter executed sooner rather than later would be more beneficial. And I think it's a good thing. And then we have the oversight as well, and visibility in accordance to the policies of the trustees of the trust fund. So I think it just makes sense, period.
We have consulted with not only Finance Director Stevens, whom I hope will speak up, but we had a choice as to whether or not we should set the principal at $50,000, which was the original bequest, or $300,000 approximately, which is now what the money is. And we chose the larger number because that would generate more income and enable the fund to, obviously be more available for the maintenance, repair, and improvements to the parkway. So it will go in as approximately $310,000 principal, with the income once a year will be transferred over to the Swayze Parkway Maintenance Fund, which is one of the other maintenance funds or Swayze Parkway funds.
I just have how would that schedule work? Would it be our fiscal year? Would it be the anniversary date of the funds being transferred?
No. Once we get the money, it's ours. It's our money to do what.
I'm sorry.
will.
You said you were going to transfer money over to
I see.
Swayze Park.
Our plan was to wait until the end of the year, so December,
Okay.
and provide that December, the whole year's income into the Swayze Parkway Maintenance Fund.
So would you do it this December or wait and just add those few months on? Have you talked about that yet?
Right. No, well, we haven't, but I think I can answer it, and please correct me, Corey or Darius. We have, and it will be in our books later today, if not already in there, we have received 3 of 4 payments this year to the, right now, whatever payment from the bequest goes into the Swayze Parkway Maintenance Fund. It is not income. It is actually principal that has been drawn down under the terms of Ohio law. The last quarter's income is normally paid, I believe, in either December, probably December 15th. If we ask them, and if you agree to terminate the funds, they'll just send us the entire funds.
But you wouldn't get the December.
So there
Thank
wouldn't
you.
be another payment out of, another quarterly payment out of the fund, principal. It would from now on be a payment on, based on income.
Yeah.
Now, if if the town had a legitimate Swayze Parkway maintenance fund request, then, we wouldn't wait necessarily to December if we needed to have money earlier than that.
So if there was an emergency, there's a mechanism in place. Thank you.
The income, by the way, it'd have to be a pretty inexpensive emergency, because
At this point, right now,
this
yeah.
point.
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Sure.
And thank you for your work on this.
Thank you. Well, again, my Darius and Wayne and Dave Short, Dwayne Staples
And Corey. Yep.
and my colleagues Pat Tucker and Leonette Salas, who would be here. Pat's in Spain, and Leon's in New York taking care of some family. So I'm the Stuckey.
Well, thank you
Happy
to
be
all
here.
of you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for either Mr. Leonard or Mr. Thompson? Mr. Stevens, did you have anything to add?
I don't. I guess
Okay.
is a bit of a wallflower and chimed in when they asked for my opinion. I think they, like everything else, they've
Yeah.
handled it appropriately and lots of communication between
Mhm.
the groups. And
Good.
I agree.
Okay.
56 plus years overdue. Let's get her done.
I would like to say that at the August 20th, and I know, Mr. Lennon, in your memo, you indicated that the trustees voted 3-0.
3-0, formally voted on our meeting on August 20th. I'm
And then-
sorry I didn't mention that.
August 20th, the Swayze Park trustees
Right.
met, and they also voted.
Correct.
Right.
3-0, and I was there as the.
Yeah, we voted on August 4th, right?
August 4th. And so presumably you'll be approving your minutes Wednesday.
Yes.
This Wednesday at your meeting. Okay, all right. Any other questions?
And we will obviously, if we can, use draft minutes. We'll use draft minutes to send those to the bank
Yep.
to get things going. Once, if you agree, Corey and I will work on a draft letter, which we have not circulated to the Swayze trustees, which we will, which is a letter from you on behalf of the select board, which says to the bank, please do this.
Okay.
So we'll be working on that. We're already swapping language.
Okay, all right, good enough. Then if there are no other questions or comments, I would entertain a motion that the Select Board, pursuant to the Ambrose Swayze bequest, exercise its option to terminate the Ohio Trust and bring the funds back to Exeter, New Hampshire, which will be held in a separate Ambrose Swayze bequest trust fund and would be combined with other town trust funds for investment purposes under the trustees of the trust fund investment advisor.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you both.
Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not there yet.
Do we want to let Steve go first?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Darius. Thank you, Peter. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Mr. Dalton, would you like to go home early?
Or would you like to listen to the tax, the rebate?
Step on up.
Land use. Okay.
All right. Good evening to the board.
Good evening.
In March of 2025, the town voted to approve warrant Article 10, which was use of excess bond proceeds for the wastewater treatment facility effluent flume repair for the amount of $245,000. That number was estimated off of a memo from 2021 that had come up with a figure of, I think, $192,000. That was using traditional methods of repair, to have the concrete repaired and then have the coatings put over the top of it. Wright Pierce was our design engineer for the whole wastewater treatment facility. In 2021, they helped us after a previous coatings project did not work. And they have since worked with another company called Precision Coatings LLC that has a proprietary coating lining system that they use for stuff exactly like this that makes it so that the concrete repair, the pre-work, is fairly much easier than what it was. I have a sample of the coating that they've proposed to put on. It's a polyurea coating. It's got a 10-year warranty, it's proprietary, and the biggest thing of it is that it can be applied and put back into service almost immediately after it's put on. Being water and sewer, I don't like droughts at all. However, this particular project, a drought is favorable conditions for this project because it involves having to bypass the wastewater flow into the storage lagoons, which are as empty as they can be right now. So we are looking to try to get this going, to try to have some kind of advantage of this drought.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that is the proposal. Wright Pierce, will be overseeing the project. We'll have an RPR, which is different than the last time this had happened. We'll have an RPR on site. So Wright Pierce portion of it is $44,600. The proposal we received from Precision Trenchless LLC was $106,438 for a total cost of $151,038, which is $40,000 less than the 2021 proposal, which is unusual to go the other direction.
Very much so.
So we would like to move forward with this, and we're looking to get this approved.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Dalton?
No, let's get this.
I have none. This is great.
I appreciate you finding the positives.
Yeah, there's not many,
Only
so I
you
got to
could
grab
find
hold
a
of all
positive
of
in a
them as I
drought,
can.
so I thank you.
Yeah.
And saving us money.
Yes.
Yeah, remember when the jam came out, the drought saved us
Yes, the drought,
money,
that was another year
right?
that the drought was favorable for
yeah.
that particular project, yes.
Yeah.
So feel free to come back, because this is all work.
Not that we want a drought.
Yeah, no, I
but-
don't, I lose sleep over the rest of the parts of the drought, but.
The only question I have procedurally, the contracts, are they to be signed by the town manager?
Yes.
Okay, all
Yes.
right. I actually split this into two motions,
Okay.
if you'll let me. The first, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the town of Exeter and Wright Pierce for the wastewater treatment facility concrete coatings in the amount of $44,600, and to further authorize the interim town manager or their designee to sign the documents.
So moved.
Second.
So motion and a second. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. And I would entertain a motion to approve the proposal from Precision Trenchless LLC to apply the OBIC lining system to the partial effluent flame and plant water
Wet
well in the amount of $106,438.
So moved.
And to further
Oh,
authorize
sorry.
the interim town manager or their designee to sign the document.
Okay, ready? So moved.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. I apologize, I couldn't read my writing.
All right, that's quite all right.
Mr. Chair, if
Yeah.
I may, I would just like to thank Steve and his team, if I could take just a minute.
I wish you would, please.
Okay. So Steve and his team, and Steve Cronin, as well as the highway team, spent a significant amount of time chasing a water leak over the weekend and into today, and it was found today. It was a pretty remote location, and they did a fantastic job, but there was a lot of communication this weekend, today, and all of the teams down at DBW did a fantastic job, and I just wanted to thank Steve and his team, because Steve did a lot of work this weekend.
And for keeping us up to date.
Yes.
That was very much appreciated.
Fantastic communication, so thank you.
Thank you to you and your team, and I know the others rolled up their sleeves this morning as well, right?
Yes, exactly. That's Highway chipped in
Yeah.
this morning.
No, it
and
was great.
There was sort of an all hands on deck, and it was it was a lot of detective work because it wasn't an easy process to fix and figure out. So they did a fantastic job. So thank you.
We appreciate the teamwork. Thank you.
Yep, certainly. I appreciate all the support that I got from everybody for this, including the public. We reached out to the public on the website, and we did get a couple leads. We actually found a very small water break that we knew wasn't it in the meantime, so we'll be fixing that as well, so that's a positive.
Good.
So it worked out well.
Well, we appreciate not only the communication with the interim town manager and the board, but also your communication in real time with the public. And,
Yeah.
that was just very much appreciated, so thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
too.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Good night, Steve.
Okay, so these are all land use changes, and I will, oh gosh, okay. Sorry, I was ready, but I misinformed you. Okay. I'm sorry, there's one at the very top and it has no amount, so I just skipped that?
I really would like to tell you that I know the answer to
Okay,
that.
well,
I'm
we're
gonna
going to
have to get
skip it
back to
because
you.
I don't have an amount,
apologize.
so.
I've never seen that.
We can always, so that means I need the paperwork back, but, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Map 33, Lot 26, Unit 1, in the amount of $32,500 for the tax year 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, I move for map 33, Lot 26, Unit 2, in the amount of $33,000 for the tax year 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I move for map 33, Lot 26, Unit 3, in the amount of $27,500 for the tax year 2025.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I should have done this when I reviewed. I'm going to do a few together, if that's okay, with the same amounts. Okay, so I move for map 33, Lot 26, Unit 4. Map 33, Unit 26, Lot 26, Unit 6.
Five.
No, it's 6.
Okay.
500's not there. Map 33, Lot 26, Unit 7. Bear with me. Map 33, Lot 26, Unit 8. Map 33, Lot 26, Unit 9. Map 33, Lot 26, Unit 11.
I'll second that.
I think there's one more.
Yep.
There's one more.
It's 31, it's a different amount.
No, it's a different
Oh,
amount,
I'm
but
so
it's okay,
sorry.
I needed to.
I made the same mistake.
I apologize.
Yeah, it's fine, I just need a little patience to get through it, but,
You're doing it. I'm the one that's screwing you.
no, you're good, thank you.
Okay, so there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I'm sorry about that.
No, don't apologize, really, it's fine, teamwork. Okay, so now I'm on, there are two, map 33, Lot 26, Unit 5, and map 33, Lot 26, Unit 12, in the amount of $31,000 for the tax year 2025.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, so, sorry, I think I've just got, 32,000. Map 33, Lot 26, Unit 10, in the amount of $32,000 for the tax year 2025.
Second that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And map 112, Lot 7, in the amount of $5,000 for tax year 2025.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. By my checklist, you got them.
I know, I'm looking for the folder. Could I have that folder? Somebody please pass that down. Thank you.
Thanks.
Got it, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I
No worries.
usually, okay.
Niggling with the-
Okay, next we have a request from Park and Rec for some additional funding for 10 Hampton Road and the renovation project, and I think, Ms. Roy, you were going to speak to this?
I am, but I believe we have David and Greg online, so if we're able to let them in, or however we do that, just in case I have a question.
Okay. I see Mr.
We're here.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, everybody. And I'd like to thank Greg and David They are at a conference, and they are joining us tonight at that conference. So thank you for joining us. So as you have heard along the way, David Tovey, the Assistant Park and Rec Director, Greg Beeson, the Park and Rec Director, myself, Steve Cronin, Dave Sharples, when he was here, we all formed this project team for 10 Hampton Road. And once we got to working with HDC, which was our construction manager, we were meeting weekly. We had done some early design work with the firm to start the process, look at whatever our options are and all that stuff. So things have gone really well. In the memo, you'll see that we originally started with HDC for about $920,000. We needed an additional $60,000 to take what we had, which were schematic plans, and turn them into construction documents. And through that process, you've had Greg come here a few times to ask for various things to be added, paving, that kind of thing. We are very lucky. We've been working with HDC, and they came to us with some not only value engineering, but also some stock supply that they had ways in which we could save money in the project. Because for those of you that remember, we got a grant that was going to be around a little under $1 million that required a match. But there was clearly more than $1 million worth of work in the building. But we were able to look at this in a way to focus on accessibility, energy, improving our energy usage, and facility efficiency and effectiveness. So some of the challenges and opportunities that we had, for those of you that have done the site walk, there was an old farmhouse that had sort of a barn connected to the back. We originally in our plans had one side of that dormed because we thought that's all we could afford. HDC helped us to engineer it so that we could actually raise the entire roof and get a full space and full height ceiling out of that project. That did require additional shoring up of the floor because that space would now be considered a place of assembly, so there was some support that needed to be added and different things. So as we've gone along, we've kind of added things here, removed things here, saved money there, and it's been this ebb and flow, and we've been on target for the majority of the time. We knew at the beginning of the project process with HDC that there was going to be about a $13,000 or $14,000 delta. We had a $24,000 contingency, so we wanted to wait to see if we ended up in the contingency, whether we needed it. We didn't want to ask for the money until we knew we needed it. So we're at the point now where we're hoping to wrap this project up on the 26th, and we would like to request the delta, which is $22,632. If the board chooses not to move forward with that tonight, there are some things that we can do. We can pull back the painting from the front of the building, and I'm completely blanking on what the other thing that we can't do. So this isn't a done deal. I just want to make sure that you guys realize that, even though we're this late in the process. But this would allow us to get all of the items that we need that are through this grant program. So the recommendation is to pay $17,400 out of recreation impact fees, which that balance we will basically, I think, have $800 left in that fund, and that's okay. That's the impact fees that come when there's a new construction project or something like that in town. And then the balance of $5,216 from the recreation revolving fund. And Greg, David, and myself have reviewed the recreation fund as well as Corey, and that can support that request. But I know this is a little bit confusing, so I'm happy to answer questions or have David or Greg answer questions as well.
Please.
What's the remaining amount in the revolving fund after the 5216 if it's approved?
On the revolving account, $45,000.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you, Corey.
So 801 and 45,000.
Correct. And we tend to see a fairly substantial return on our Beer and Chili Festival. It's one of our larger money-making events for the rec revolving account, and that's about to happen in a few weeks. So we do expect that to increase.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions. The memo was really clear for me, so thank you.
And impact fees are always flowing into that account.
Correct. The impact
Projects are
fees,
done.
exactly. We just got some more impact fees. That's what allowed us to to use this fund. So we're very appreciative to Doug and planning and all the folks that are doing building and economic development in town. We're very appreciative.
I'm in favor of doing this.
Okay. If there are no other questions, I would entertain a motion to authorize the Parks and Rec Department to expend $17,400 from the Recreation Impact Fees and $5,216 from the Recreation Revolving Fund to complete the 10 Hampton Road renovation project.
So moved.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Greg.
If I may,
Please.
one more
Yeah.
thing, Mr. Chair. I just want to let you know that this is our project budget. And as you know, the building is empty for programming. And after Beer and Chili, you may see the Park and Rec Department come back to request tables, plastic movable tables and chairs, and a few signage things that need to be put in to utilize the building, but they're waiting until after Powder Keg.
Okay.
And that was a known expense because the grant can't cover those things, but I didn't want you to think we didn't tell you about them or you're not
Appreciate that.
expecting them. So you will see us in a month or two to furnish a few things inside.
It's a
I
good heads up.
appreciate the heads up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Greg and David, for joining us, even though you're at a conference. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
You.
Thanks. Okay, Melissa, since you have the floor,
I do.
Town Manager's report, please.
Sure. It's a little bit shorter this week than last week. You heard me speak about the water leak and the work that the DPW did, so I just want to thank you, Corey. So you already took that. For those of you that have been driving around or walking around downtown, you've seen probably some black sticky tack on the ground around the bandstand. There was a DOT project in Kingston or Kensington. I apologize, I can't remember which one. And unfortunately, their trucks had a route to go around the bandstand, and when they made that turn, some of the tack was getting on the road. It is not a substance that can be scraped off. It basically has to wear off. So we've had multiple meetings with DOT, Jay Perkins and Steve Cronin. So they did do some repainting of the lane lines, but unfortunately, there isn't anything. The only way to get rid of it is to ground it off and repave it, which we obviously do not have the budget for. And DOT is unwilling to repave it for us, which I'm not 100% surprised, but we did talk to them and ask the next time that there's a project anywhere sort of abutting our town, that we have the ability to reroute them somewhere besides right in the historic downtown. So we're gonna hopefully get a heads up next time, but I can't guarantee it. So we've got that.
Yeah, I did see DPW out there first thing that morning, and so
Yeah.
thank them for getting on that because there were no lines visible.
Yes, it was quite interesting. I joined a facilities committee site walk at 10 Hampton Road, so I want to thank the facilities committee for making the time to come out and check out the new building. Some of the members had some really great advice and thoughts for us, so we really appreciated them coming out before the end of the project, that we were able to make some adjustments, so thank you for that. I've spent a lot of time, and I would like to also thank Finance Director Stevens. He has been working double time on getting the budget. We've been working really hard to get it ready to present to you folks on September 29th and then the BRC on October 1st. So we've been lots and lots of discussions about that. And then I did have various personnel issues that I did have to deal with in the last 2 weeks. But that's my report for today.
Terrific, thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you.
All right. Select Board Committee reports. Selectwoman Gilman, may we start with you, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. All I had in the last 2 weeks was an Energy Committee meeting. We talked about the next round of the window inserts, window dressers. We're trying to organize it such that other communities will join us and take up the mantle. So you'll be seeing a table at any public event that's occurring with the volunteer sheets for the different sectors of the job. One is organizing volunteers, and one is measuring windows, and one is coming to work and actually manufacture the inserts. The other thing was, as part of my duties as a member representative for Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire, was talk about proposed legislation, and on the committee that I'm on with CPCNH, that is part of their duties, and I'll be sponsoring a bill to enable towns to create revolving funds for energy-related fund issuance. There is a revolving fund, as we set up with the transfer station, but that piece of the law really only addresses hardware, the revenue you get from having hardware in a system we're operating. But with CPCNH, we have money set aside in reserves that we can draw off from for energy efficiency or any other project that comes up. Excuse me. But if we ask for our share or piece of our share, the only place to put it is into the general fund. And then we have to ask the board or the voters, can we please spend this money on XYZ? So the purpose of this legislation is for us to be able to create a revolving fund with the purpose of putting that income in a separate account, basically a bank account, then that, much like we just did with the recreation revolving fund, and et cetera, it just comes to the board for a decision rather than having to vote for everything that we want to do. So I'm looking for co-signers, co-sponsors, if you know anyway. And that, the other item was the status of what's called the Jack Frost grants that are from not CDBG, the other one. EECBG. and it's for low-income weatherization, low-income families and weatherizing their houses. We've particularly targeted the manufactured housing parks. There was apparently some lack of awareness on what weatherization means, and also a suspicion of the notifications that we hung on their doors was a scam. So there wasn't a lot of interest, and we have to spend the money before the end of December. So we're redoubling our outreach efforts to get people to participate, because the less people that participate, the more money they get to do a lot of work. So, if you have some things you want to get done, apply now, please. And contact Kristen Murphy, our natural resources and sustainability planner. And that's it.
Great. Thank you very much. Selectwoman Belanger, please.
I had a planning board meeting on Thursday night, September 11th. We continued the public hearing on 97 Portsmouth Ave was tabled to 9/25. Nope, wrong date. Sorry, can't tell you. It was tabled for a month, so I'll tell you the next meeting. I'm all over the place with my minute notes. There was still some questions that were going unanswered. So, and then the next application, which I have to say was really great because there were a lot of children in the room. It's for the Exeter Presbyterian Church on 73 Winter Street, and a lot of the children were there to support the building being expanded, because they meet there for different organizations, and it was just great to see children that young in there. Anyway, so there's a site walk for anybody who would like to join us, and that is on the morning of September 25th at 8 a.m. And I don't think we've received it yet, but because we accepted Pete Cameron's resignation, the planning board voted for someone to take his seat.
Okay.
So that should be coming, FYI. And then I had a housing advisory committee meeting. I did tell I'm all set. My concern at work is no longer a concern, so I'm okay.
Okay.
I can continue. Yes, it is a relief. I can't keep taking these out. And then the So we just had a legislative update, which was really great. We talked about an article that Darren Wyndham had sent us for a previous meeting that we didn't get to, and he wasn't in attendance. Anyway, at the previous meeting, there's some more House bills coming back up, so we'll see how that goes. I understand Chris Munns has been working, the state rep from Hampton has been doing a tremendous job on a draft, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then our next meeting is scheduled right now for October 10th, but we're looking to move it to October 24th because of the scheduling conflict. I did look at the website before our meeting started, and it hasn't been moved yet, but I'll be able to update that for anyone interested in attending our meeting. And can I just give one more plug
Please.
for our Powder Keg Beer and Chili Festival? Hope to see people there. It's a great time. It's 3 weeks, October 4th, 9:30, and if anyone is interested in volunteering, I believe there's still some slots available. If you go on social media and Facebook, they have a sign up there, or you can reach out to our Parks and Rec and they can give you a link, or Chamber of Commerce. Hope to see you there.
Excellent. Thank you. Selectwoman Cowan.
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Selectman Chartran.
I was away at a booksellers regional conference for New England last week, so I missed a Concom meeting on Tuesday of last week and a water and sewer advisory on Wednesday. So my apologies, I can't report on that. I did attend a Sustainability Advisory Committee meeting on the 3rd of September, a Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we had our standard agenda where we took up styrofoam recycling, talked about the future of landfills in the region and the nation, and trying to strategize about how we could move more things away from going into the landfill. So it was a good meeting.
Good.
Denise Short is doing a great job chairing that committee.
Fantastic.
And that's my report.
That's good news. Thank you.
Can I just comment?
Yeah.
I read an article about construction debris, and for me, it was an effort to show people that they should not replace their antique windows, but because of the density of the wood, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the statistics that I read in the report was that construction debris causes annually enough debris to build a 10-foot tall, 10-foot wide wall all around the U.S. border every year.
Wow. We did not discuss that. Thank you for adding that.
I'll send you the little thing. It's a nasty fact.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
The tree committee met on the 9th, and they're going to be coming before the board at our next meeting to give us an update on some of the good work that they've been doing and what they hope to accomplish. So we'll look forward to that. That's always a fun committee to have come spend some time with us. Swayze Park meets this Wednesday. Pearpoint Park meets Thursday. There's no River Advisory Committee meeting this month. We will reconvene in October. And other than that, I've had the pleasure of spending some good quality time with the interim town manager and finance director as we get the budget ready. So that's been fun as well. So thank you for that. Correspondence, Melissa, while you were working with the fire department, we had public comment from Mr. Thompson.
Oh, okay.
And we spoke of Ms. Clark's email to the board, and
Yes.
that we're going to reach out to her and invite her to come to a select board meeting. So we covered that already.
Okay.
There's a wonderful informational piece from Public Works on the transfer station, which I encourage everybody to review, starting with my wife. And we have the NHMA legislative bulletin as well to read at our convenience. So with that, we can look at the board calendar, September 29th.
Oh, sorry, I need you to go slow. I
I
think
will
I have
go.
everything, but let's confirm. 29th.
September 29th.
That's another draft budget, correct?
Correct. October 14th, which is a Tuesday. October 27th, I'm sorry, which I know you're going to be absent.
October 27th.
And I have noted no Molly that night.
Down.
November 10th,
Okay.
November 24th, December 8th, and December 22nd.
Got it.
Mr. Chair, I will be unavailable on November 10th.
Okay, so no
Can zoom in if you'd like.
Selectman Cowan on the 27th, no Selectwoman Gilman on the 10th.
We're all in my calendar already.
Okay.
No Julie.
Okay, is there any other business before the board this evening before we adjourn?
Yes, I move that we enter into non-public under 91A:32B.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please.
Selectman Chartran?
Aye.
Selectwoman Gilman?
Aye.
Selectman Cowan?
Aye.
Clerk says aye. Mr. Chair?
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. The board will be moving into non-public. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and